Well, I had a sick week, so let me tell you all about it. Cheers. Welcome back, everybody, to Weekly Navel-gazing, where we look at all the things I didn't do last week, and I come up with ridiculous explanations on why that is the case. Which, I mean, we talk about what I read, and what I did, and what I plan to do, and what I plan to read this week. So let's get straight into that, shall we? Well, it's fairly easy. I read some more Olympus by Dan Simmons. I'm still not done with it, but I'm getting closer. And I read The Warrior Prophet by R. Scott Baker. And beyond that, I read a lot of books about anti-Semitism and reread or continue my reread of The Truth by Terry Pratchett. That's not that much, I have to admit. But the main thing that happened last week was I caught a pretty bad cold, and I didn't do much because I tried to get better. And, that takes time. And fevers are not helpful when you try to read books. Sort of, I guess. So there you go, that's what I read last week. So what do I plan to read this week? Well, I plan to read more of Olympus and hopefully finish Olympus, and I definitely have to read The Trouble with Peace by Joe Abercrombie, because on Sunday at 8 p.m, which I guess, 8 p.m. my time, which I have no idea what that is in other time zones, will be a live discussion of The Trouble with Peace over on Jolene, from Jolene Reed's channel, and I am very much looking forward to that. I had a lot of fun the last time when we talked about A Little Hatred, and I'm looking forward to seeing where Joe Abercrombie is taking his whole industrialization part of the First Law world. I'm definitely intrigued and looking forward to reading that. Beyond that, who knows? Stella Maris by Cormac McCarthy came out today, so I might just actually finally get to The Passenger and then Stella Maris this week as well, depending on how long I'll take for Olympus, because I guess I'll need a bit of a break before I tackle Flashback by Dan Simmons, because that one's a terrible book, at least from what I remember, and I assume it'll only be worse this time around. So those are my reading plans. And of course, more anti-Semitism stuff, because, yeah. So let's look at what all the things I did last week. And there are no videos. I'm aware of that. I am very, very sorry for that. Once again, my voice was pretty much shot from the whole cold, and I guess you can still hear that. So yeah, and with the whole live stream thing that I did on Saturday, right? I tried to not do stuff to tax my voice before that. I hope this will change now, because I feel better now, and I definitely want to record videos this week, and we'll see how that goes in a minute. So yeah, I did a live stream, and that was great. At least I thought it was great. I had a lot of fun. We had Iskar Jarak here, which was really, really happy that Iskar, after such a long break, managed to show up, and we talked some Malazan. We had Liam from Liam's Lyceum here, and we talked some Fritz Leiber, however you want to pronounce the man, and some Sword and Sorcery, and we had my Thumbnail Wizard, Pathfinder, and Dark Heresy Dungeon Master, and long-time good friend John to talk all kinds of things, and I at least enjoyed it. I was really happy that so many of you showed up to that live stream. I hope you had fun there, and I don't know, maybe we'll do that again in the future. I was a bit worried that I would not, be able to handle the whole technical stuff, reading comments in a live stream, like live comments with a screen reader is kind of weird, because you suddenly have a second voice in your head that tells you things, and you need to coordinate that stuff, and it's, yeah, but I feel I managed to do it quite well. Or at least I hope so. So I don't know. Let me know what you thought if you watched the live stream, and if not, it's still up. Go check it out. It's long, and we had some fun there. So there was that, and as I said, I'm very proud. It was to celebrate my 2 years on BookTube, and I'm still very proud that I managed to actually keep at something for 2 years. It's not exactly what I'm known for. Um, doing stuff for a long time is not exactly a strong suit of mine, as people may know by now. So there we go. That was a lot of fun. And on Sunday, we recorded the second conversation about the Prince of Nothing, that being about the Warrior Prophet, with Joanna and Philip Chase and Jimmy Nuts from the Fantasy Network. And we had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with that discussion. I think it was a bit less aggressive than the first one because, I don't have to repeat my criticisms that I had the first time round. So we looked at some other aspects of the books, of the second book, which I, did kind of enjoy. It was not too bad. And as far as I know, that conversation will be up on Joanna's channel on Thursday. So keep an eye out for that. And I assume we'll do the third one in the future. Probably on my channel, but we don't have a date yet. Not at all. It's up to me to actually organize that, and for reasons, I didn't do that yet, so we'll see. But I assume it'll be up hopefully next month, something like that. We will see. There's holidays and stuff, or so I've heard, so that will take time. So I did actually do some things last week, just not actual videos on this channel. But yeah, one of those things will be up this week on Joanna's channel, and as I said, go watch it. It was fun, and those books are definitely worth reading and discussing, which is exactly what we did. So yeah, videos this week. Definitely the number one priority at this point is to get out that Ilium video. I have an idea of how to do it. I have a long list of notes. I have, hopefully I have my voice back enough to do that. And all I need to do is press record and, well, get through the whole damn thing. Because I want to have this one out before I finish reading Olympus, so I can, concentrate on the next video in that series. And then we need to figure out, or I need to figure out, whether I'll do, after I've done my video on Flashback, whether I'll do like a recap kind of video where I just sum up the whole trajectory of Dan Simmons' science fiction works, or whether I'll just leave it at where we are right now. I'm also aware that I definitely should probably build a playlist for that. I'm not very good with all the administrative parts of the whole, YouTube stuff. So I'm sorry for that. I'll try to do better, and we'll see how that works. But yeah, the Ilium video will be made this week. So, what beyond that? Well, I have a bunch of ideas, and I still have those 3 tag videos that I should definitely go and do. And then there is, of course, the big one, the anti-Semitism video. I mean, I've been talking it up for like the last 3 or 4 weeks by now. I've done a lot of research, or at least a lot of reading, that I guess counts as research at this point. I have an idea, I have a sort of structure in my head. I just need to get down to recording it. And I'm a bit worried about this one because, I've been talking it up, so I feel there's a lot of pressure there for me, and I'm not good with pressure. I tend to, at least with the kind of pressure I can sort of let slide, I'm very bad with that, so I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just push it forward another day, do a little bit more reading, make sure I really get my details right, all of these things, and yeah, I don't know. I guess I can do this almost indefinitely, and that's not a good way to doing things. So I'm kind of worried to get this started with, but I guess I'll just start and get the whole video done. I can't promise it will be out this week, but I hope that I'll at least start with it this week. So when we talk about next week, when we do the weekly navel-gazing, I can hopefully tell you progress on it, and at least I'll try to have the anti-Semitism video out before Doors of Stone or Winds of Winter hit bookshelves. I think I can promise that much. I hope. I have decided to actually record it in parts and then edit them together, because I think it'll be a long-ish video. My camera does sort of overheat after like 30-35 minutes, and I want potential cuts, jump cuts or whatever, between segments and not in the middle of a segment. So I'll try to do it that way. That also allows me to, re-record individual parts if I'm not happy with a specific part of the whole video, and we'll see. That's sort of my rough plan. It'll be more or less a walk through history, looking at these different narratives, stories, stereotypes, and so forth that have come up over the millennia, and then trying to find situations in fantasy books where they are used and maybe shouldn't. That's sort of the rough idea. We'll see how long it'll take. As I said, I'm very good at not very good, but I'm not very good at handling pressure, and I guess it kind of builds into my whole situation at the moment, where I'm hopefully slowly feeling better on the mental health side of things. I said that yesterday, not yesterday, like last week. I had an appointment with a doctor. I am finally taking meds, and I'm hoping that things will improve on that front as well. But what that means is I still have this huge pile of problems that I need to deal with. And even if I may have more energy, that doesn't mean that I'm, suddenly have a master plan of which problem to tackle first and which thing to solve in what way. Those questions still remain, and I'm certainly facing those, and I'm a bit worried that I've been using the anti-Semitism video in a way to distract myself from what you might call real world problems. And the issue with that for me is that the more time I spend preparing for this, the easier it is for me to build this video, this potential video, up in my brain as this huge thing that will possibly be the solution to all kinds of problems. Obviously not, really, you know what I mean? It's not going to solve my financial problems. It's not going to help me figure out how to deal with my income issues and all these other. It's not going to do that. I know that, but in a way, it's sort of like this form of redemption, I guess. In a way, it's like, but at least I managed to do this, and that obviously sets me up for like a huge fall, because you can't actually predict how YouTube videos do. And there's no firm relation between effort put into a video and its success in numbers, or whatever you want to call it. So there is the real danger that I'll make this video, I'll pour all my heart into it, it'll be an hour and 2 hours long, I'll do everything, and then 30 people will watch it, and I'll just be completely hammered down once again by just the lack of success of it. Which is fine, because once again, I mean, it would suck, but it's fine. It's not, there's no guarantee that anything will work on say, BookTube. But it's important for me to not raise my expectations into daydream levels of, wow, this will be it kind of territory, you know what I mean? And I'm sort of in this weird place right now mentally, where I'm really worried that's what I'm doing, sort of, at the back of my brain, and I really try to avoid that. So we will see. Maybe I'll, once it's done, or once I have parts of it, maybe I'll show parts of it, sort of, share those with people on Patreon. Thank you very much for being patrons on my Patreon. I know I should, do more of the explicit cheers and stuff. I've let that shit slide, and I'll try to get it back again. Maybe as a bit of an excuse or whatever, I'll share that first part once I recorded it with all of you, and you can give me feedback on whether that's good or bad, or whatever you think, right? I mean, maybe I'll do that. Let me know if you want that, and I can do that. Obviously, the full video will be up here, but maybe I'll do that so I can get some early advance feedback to see if I'm completely on the wrong track there. Just an idea. I just had this while recording, so who knows? Anyway, that's sort of where I am right now. Let me know what you did last week, what you read last week, how your time's going. Hope you're full into the holiday season already, eating wonderful Christmas cookies and drinking mulled wine, or whatever it is you do to celebrate your personal winter holiday. Yeah. read good books, watch good films, watch good or interesting YouTube videos, whatever. Let me know what you thought about the live stream. Let me know what you think about my future plans. I'd really appreciate feedback at this point because, I feel I need external input to keep moving forward and not just lose my track completely. That would be really cool. Otherwise, have a great week, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Cheers.